Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to Friday Conversations. Today is pre-recorded. This is Precious, and this is Todd. They don't go together. Fun fact, I know Todd because he's a tenant at Hebron, and Precious, her daddy died. He used to be a tenant at Hebron, and we fostered her. That's why she's in here. And
nice.
so we actually adopted her out, and she comes 2 days a week to the office. We have joint custody. But so that's why she's in here, and she's in the room because she gets really excited when she sees me now still, since we only get to see her twice a week. But so that is Precious, and that's why there's a dog that may be popping in and out. To get into it with Todd, thank you for being on today, Todd.
Yeah, it's great being here.
And now tell me, where are you originally from, Todd?
Pittsburgh more than any place else, a lot of DC, and I've been in Vegas for about 20 years, so this is home.
Okay, so did you start out in Pittsburgh?
More or less. The family was all from Pittsburgh, and I grew up in Pittsburgh. Dad was in the Air Force, and I came out, I was here when I was 4 years old. That was my first time in Vegas. And I didn't want to leave Vegas when I was 5, but nobody was listening to me. So, I said, come back, and here I am.
So what year did you come to Las Vegas?
02.
Oh, okay. So you finally made the move, and you came out here, and then what were you doing for work when you moved out here, if you don't mind me asking?
A lot of things, a whole lot of things. Everything from sales to construction to had a good stint working in executive search before the economy came down. Then I got addicted to being a freelance writer, and that kind of started a tailspin.
You mentioned you were out here when the market crashed.
Right.
Tell me a little bit about what that was like in 08, living out here, because I've only read about it and heard.
It was like all of a sudden everything was going really well, and then all of a sudden everything just stopped, and it was hard to get a job anywhere, and I didn't really know how deep it was going to hit until it was too late to really pull up. So it was very tough for really the whole next decade. Kids, fits, and starts.
Did you struggle with housing insecurity at that time?
I did.
Wow.
Yeah, I definitely did. I went homeless a couple of times, not for long. It was almost more like being locked out than exactly being homeless, but it was sort of like in between there. But a couple of different episodes. Had some time in St. Vincent's.
Okay, that's Catholic Charities. If anybody doesn't know what St. Vincent is, that's Catholic Charities.
Yeah, about the only place where there's a men's shelter of any size in this city. So I was there for a while. Then I went to Pittsburgh and stayed with my cousin for a year and a half, and then came back.
Okay, so wait, call it 08. You had a couple stays at Catholic Charities for people that don't know that it was called St. Vincent's. Then went to Pittsburgh with family to get back on your feet. And then came back out when? Came back out in this past November. Oh, so fairly recent. I had no idea.
Yeah, this past November.
Wow.
And because I'd made some money in order to get a place, but because I had some evictions on me, couldn't get a place even.
That's what I was going to ask, what that was like.
That was really surprising and frustrating, and not like what Vegas used to be like. In Vegas, back in the 2000s, and really up until about the middle of the teens, if you had the money and you had a job, you could get a place somehow, somewhere, even if you'd had some trouble in the past. But that all shut down pretty badly, and it's not like I had any other problems, just money. It's interesting that you say that, because everything that's going on now with the housing market here, and everybody keeps comparing it to 08, but they say it's going to be worse. And so that's kind of my biggest nightmare, is that there's going to be all these families in working class that are just going to be out of luck because they've got evictions when the moratorium, goes. And then now with the cost of rents being so crazy, for people that don't know and aren't here in Las Vegas, it used to be really affordable. I lived in San Diego and couldn't afford it there, but we moved here because it was more affordable. And I used to always joke that if you're on fixed income, it was my dream as a homeless services provider, because I could find a place even in downtown. Right. And now that's gone. And so to put it in perspective for people watching online,
We charge, our starting rate is $750 to $785 for people here, and that's some of the lowest spots in town right now, and that never used to be. You used to be able to find $400 and $500 spots with utilities included. So
not that long ago.
Yeah, no. Even, I would say even like pre-pandemic, that was still a thing where you could find affordable rates like that.
That's right.
So it scares me to death that we're going to get a whole new wave of homeless and people like that are just out when they get their
that's right.
evictions.
Even working people, people who don't have big problems, they just aren't making the kind of income that's going to take care of rent in this town. It's turning into California here fast.
Uh-oh, I think we're losing the dog.
Oh no, bye-bye. We'll miss
So you saved up and were living with family in Pittsburgh so you could come back here.
Exactly.
And then you did mention that you got into freelance writing, so tell me a little bit about that.
Oh, that was bad. I've always loved to write. That's my main thing. I got the impression, make a living off of it. Problem is, I write poetry, and so I'm used to writing really slow. So I'd end up spending all day on a $20 article, perfecting it beyond what I needed to, and ended up making not enough. And couldn't pull out because it was the dream of being a writer. But there was that.
Any
poetry.
Any place that you want to shout out that you worked for doing freelance that people might know?
Oh, jeez. The little magazines that don't probably even exist anymore. I mean, they're just, some of them are photo galleries, but not any particular place.
Okay. Well, if you need poetry, I will leave his email at the bottom, and you can contact him to write.
Yeah, exactly. I wrote
custom poetry.
My first publication was about being homeless. So.
Oh, really?
All right.
What was, if you don't mind sharing, you can always tell me no, but what was one of the hardest things or one of the things that you remember the most about that time, struggle-wise?
Not being able to find a place to wash up without, always being on the bottom, people kind of looking at you funny, and not being able to keep your clothing clean and your person clean very easily, and getting through the night. Just getting through the night. It was not easy. Meet some great people though. I met some great folks. There are folks in a tough situation, just like me, both on the street and at St. Vincent's. But that was really what it was. You really. Just having a bed and a roof over your head and a shower is just so much of a difference. It really is. Because all those things take a lot of time, and a lot of time figuring out how to do when you're outside. And the other thing is, once you get out in that situation, getting another job gets to be its own special kind of a problem. You don't have an address to refer back to. You don't have a place to get yourself together for work the next day. I mean, all that. You just kind of slide off into this whole other world.
And I don't think people realize it either. Like, the things that Todd's talking about, just the basics, take up a lot of your day just trying to figure it out and get around to those things. So people are like, just get a job. But I don't think you understand, when you don't have access to resources, how long some of that stuff can take to do. And then, like he said, no address. How are you going to apply for a job if they can't call you or write to you, or get a hold of you? It's next to impossible. Right. So people don't think about that. That you're lazy, get a job. Well, it's not that easy.
No, it's not. It's not that easy at all.
Yeah.
It really isn't.
Those people, you said you met a lot of good people. Do you actually keep in touch with anybody?
A few people, yeah. A few people up and down the street, actually.
Are they indoors or are they still outdoors?
A lot of them are still outdoors.
Oh, that hurts my heart to hear, because that's a good long run.
I'm just glad they're alive after the pandemic.
Yeah.
Actually, but still, to have been outdoors all this time.
It was really, really rough. We did outreach, and we were one of the few. Now, not during the whole shutdown, but just when those first 2 weeks when things were just, everything was shut and turned off.
I remember those, yeah.
And...
oh, jeez. I still have bed bugs right from those days.
Oh, I'm glad you don't have bed bugs here.
2 years old.
But we had we had to go out, and we found what kind of was our wake-up call was I found a guy that was dead, and he died of dehydration. It was a rainy day. And it was kind of my aha moment. And then I started talking to people, and I found out, they won't let us refill their cups because of the pandemic, and then we can't go in. We had zero income. We were panhandling to get ID and whatever else, and now we have nothing because there's no humans around.
Right.
What do we do? And a lot of people didn't even know. When we were going to the camps, people didn't even know what was happening. They just knew one day, all the power's off, everybody's gone. What happened? They didn't know.
Wow.
And it was wild. So we actually ended up going to camps and educating and then giving them, the basics that they needed to survive. But people weren't even getting water.
That's a shame.
It was awful.
That's a shame.
And people don't think about that. But yeah, it was.
No, they don't.
Well, I'm glad you made it here. How did you end up here at this property?
I started calling around. There was one place I had all of the money to pay them back, and they acted like I had gotten in trouble with the law or something, or there was some incident or something. It was all just money. They wouldn't let me pay them back and get a place. But I did find this place, so I found Sheriff Village generally, and just came by and got on the list, got on the schedule, and then just moved over just in time before I went completely broke.
Wow.
Staying at Motel 6.
Oh goodness, those motels are expensive.
They are.
How much was that a night, do you think?
That was about $50, $60 a night on weekdays, and weekends could get up to like $150.
Whoa.
I mean, I stocked up some money before I came back from Pittsburgh, luckily. But to do that in Pittsburgh, I was living in a place that I was glad to be there. But no running water, no central electricity, none of that kind of stuff.
Oh my goodness! And how much did that dump cost you?
It didn't. I was with my cousin, so
that's awful.
It was colorful.
In the winter? Were you there in the winter?
Yeah, it was.
How did you
last
keep
year
warm?
winter. Space heaters.
Okay, but they had power?
There was a plug that ran to a place. Yeah.
Oh, so
we got it done.
So you were running like extension cords?
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh no.
Sometimes a raccoon would pop in and say hi.
Ah! Oh my goodness! Did you have things crawling anywhere near your sleep?
Oh yeah, I
had that when I was on the streets.
Yeah, the centipedes. I started naming them.
Ooh.
One was Lawrence. Spiders everywhere. It was cool.
Oh,
it was
boy.
wild. But I saved up a lot of money. I was working on the phones, off a computer. Sales right now. I just got the go ahead yesterday. I've been accepted into a teacher's training program. So starting September, I'll be a teacher in CCSD.
Wow,
K through 5.
That's fantastic!
Yeah.
Congratulations!
Yeah, thanks. I'm looking forward. I can't decide which grade I want to teach more.
Yeah.
But they want you to teach little kids, so that'll be great.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Hey, baby.
Time out.
Hello.
We got an interruption.
This is our buddy right here.
Hi, Precious.
You get going.
Hi, Precious. You just come to say hello.
Yeah.
Hello. Hello, happy puppy.
Well, my experience with homelessness was not as bad as a whole lot of people's. Most of the time, I spent lying on a wall off the Boulder Highway and thinking about, I'm going to get a great poem out of this, and got it published. So there you go.
Have you ever thought about doing poems? I mean, you said you got yours published. Where did you get yours published at?
It's an online, one of the oldest online little journals in England called Snakeskin. Snakeskin Poetry
Wow,
Easy.
That's a huge honor.
Yeah, it was cool. It was
Congratulations.
Really exciting. It was really exciting.
Have you ever thought about doing like something where you recite your poetry on
I've done
YouTube?
that here. I've got a YouTube channel, yeah.
Oh, we can promote that.
Okay.
Okay. Well, when we get done, we're going to drop the link so you can follow
Well, some of it gets a little... no, it's not sunshine and roses.
If people want to follow you, I think that's great. They should.
Sure.
So, what is, like, do you have a favorite story of something good that happened in that time, either Pittsburgh or here when you were going
finding this place? Coming back from Pittsburgh and being back in Vegas again after a year and a half, a little more than that, and just seeing the light again, and seeing the mountains and the desert. I just love this spot of earth right here. That was really it.
It is nice.
Seeing old friends.
Yeah.
seeing old friends, and that was really good. But just having my own place, being able to close the door, and the first time I paid rent was really very satisfying.
Oh.
So,
what year was that?
Oh, here. I'm talking about here. So we're talking about just a few months ago.
Wow.
Yeah, right.
And then
Yeah.
that's interesting because then this place went through transition. What did you think when we took over? Were you apprehensive?
I didn't even know it was happening, really. I didn't know
Be
there was
honest.
someone had to tell me, but I could tell it was definitely a much better run
Oh, well,
all of
thank
a
you.
sudden.
I didn't ask for that. I'm glad you're here. I love
too.
your story. What is your favorite thing to write about?
It goes from, I like mostly formal poetry right now, and very interested in ancient Greek religion. That's one thing, and I'm hitting the table. I'm so excited.
Okay.
And the other thing is life and politics and surviving and dreams about the future.
Oh my goodness! Right now is a great
lot of
time to
time
be
for
a
dreams of
writer.
the future, yeah.
There's
Yeah.
enough current events that I feel like you could write for days.
Yeah, I got a whole poem about how we might be able to save the Earth from climate change disasters and all that kind of stuff.
Oh.
So,
Do you have anything that you can recite off the top of your head right now? I'm putting you on the spot.
I'll try. I'm not really good at that.
Okay.
But I'll try to do the, let's see, the one I got published first. Sleeplessness is home. It's a villanelle, which is a kind of a form. First 2 lines, 3 lines, and then the first line has to go about here, the next line has to go about here, and it goes on like that. Sleeplessness is homelessness is stone. Stuck inside my shoe, a constant pain, gnawing at my metatarsal bone. All the eyes refuse to meet my own, eyes that stare behind the window pane. Sleeplessness is homelessness is stone. Watch the money in their muscle tone, whitened teeth that smile without a stain, gnawing at my metatarsal bone. Pocketing a cracked Obama phone. Oh, wait a second, there's another one. I'm missing a stanza, but okay. Pocketing a cracked Obama phone, showered by a passing acid rain, gnawing at my metatarsal bone. I remember this. I remember the stanza I've overlooked, but now never mind. Move past it. There's a place of free luracidone. There wait nurses apt to tap a vein. Sleeplessness is homelessness is stone. Time to snap this metatarsal bone.
Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
Thank you for sharing.
I didn't quite remember it quite right, but I missed the stanza, but
It's still great.
it's all right. Thanks.
What is one thing that you want people to know about you? Like, what do you think? They look at you and they think this, but you're like, but I am this.
I was probably the only homeless person in Las Vegas who became homeless because I was thinking too much about trochaic pentameter catalyzed and writing poems in that meter. Got me so obsessed, because some people are geared that way, we just get obsessed about things like that, that I kind of stopped paying attention to things like how to pay the rent, and kind of blew up on me. I'm going to avoid doing that this time.
I was gonna say, how do you keep yourself in check then? If you have this super analytical mind, how do you keep that in check so you don't fall back into that old
Turning
habit?
60.
Okay.
Turning 60 and realizing that there's an expiration date to all of this, and it's time to grow up sooner or later. And I might as well do it now.
You missed your calling. You need to be at Harvard, wandering over there.
Well, I had a shot. That was,
Really?
Well, that's a long story. Not at Harvard. Not at Harvard.
Where at?
I got a master's degree in English.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, so I
From
could have
where?
done that. Johns Hopkins.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
And I taught for about 10 years, and then moved to Las Vegas to experience life, and I sure experienced life all right.
This is a tough town if you don't have money.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, all
That's
that.
fantastic.
And all that, still ended up homeless.
Yeah.
So you never know who you're looking at out there on the street.
It's true. He's going to be in I can't even say it. CCSD schools.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the kids. What a benefit. What a
It's going to be
asset you're
fun.
gonna be.
It's going to be fun. I'm thinking about it more and more, you know.
Yeah.
Especially knowing that they're going to be little kids, probably. It's
That's
going to be so
amazing.
much fun. I don't have any kids of my own.
Last thought. If you had
Uh-oh.
3 wishes, what would they be?
3 wishes. That we could get as excited about being one people as we get about being many different peoples. That'd be one. To solve this problem of the climate and food and California burning up and sending everybody here and raising the rent. And the third one is always the toughest one, isn't it? I'll go with direct democracy and representative government. Make everybody can vote on every issue, or at least everybody who wants to vote on every issue can. It'll work it out. We don't need all these politicians.
Amen. Sorry to politicians.
Yeah, right.
You kind of muck it up sometimes.
Wow.
But thank you, and thank you, Todd, for coming on. I appreciate you.
Thanks very much.
Just sharing your story. I didn't know, and so thank you for coming on. Thank you for choosing to live here because you're a wonderful tenant, and we enjoy having you.
Thanks.
And I will drop his link below so you can check out more of his poetry and how you can get a hold of him with Todd. But so yeah, thank you, and congratulations on the new job.
Thanks so much.
That's exciting.
Thanks
All right.
so much.
Bye, everybody. Have a great
Bye-bye.
weekend.
Bye-bye, doggy, wherever you are.